Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Dialing It with Dave. I hope you guys had a good day. It's late. It's 11 o'clock in my time zone. Just got done with work at Tim Hortons. So today we're going to talk briefly about the Buffalo Bills and a couple of possible players that they may be picking up. But I want to have a little fun real quick and talk about a prank that I recently did. We're going to dial it up because it worked. I saw it on the internet and I thought I want to try it with my kids because sometimes you see things on the internet or on TV. I'm very skeptical about reality TV. I don't necessarily believe it. I think a lot of it's rigged. And so when I saw it being done on somebody, I thought they probably are in on it. And so I didn't necessarily believe it. But I tried it on my kids and it was successful. So we're dialing it up and it's fun to watch. So you basically, if anybody hasn't seen it, you basically ask somebody how to sound, how they would sound the word TWA. TWA. And then they say twa. And then you say, well, what about TWO? And they say two instead of two. It's kind of funny. You had to be there, but try it out on your kids especially. It's hilarious. We're dialing that up because that was good. But on to the Bills. So the Bills have been linked to J.J. Watt a lot, former defensive end for the Houston Texans, who is on the free agency market. And I can understand why Bills fans would want J.J. Watt. So let's say let's go to the notes, go to the glasses. He does turn 32, and he did play in all 16 games last season. But his stats were he produced 5 sacks, 16 quarterback hits, and 14 tackles for loss. For a loss last year. And he did that while he was being double teamed a lot. The one issue is that even though he did play all 16 games last season, I believe, he of the last 3 seasons from the last 3 previous seasons from 2016 until 2019, he only played in half of the available games in those 3 years. He was going through a lot of injuries, so he's kind of injury prone. He turns 32. He's getting up there in age, so that is a risk. But I can understand Buffalo wanting to add him. They need more pass rush if they're going to beat the Chiefs. Got to look at what Tampa did. Got to put pressure on the quarterback, but that's kind of football 101. You usually are going to do well against a team and be able to dominate them when you can get pressure on the quarterback, and more importantly, when you can get pressure on the quarterback with your front four without extra blitzers. Because if you have to use extra blitzers where you're not just using the front four, you're leaving somebody wide open for the quarterback to throw the ball to. If you can just blitz with your front four, with your front defensive line, you can be very successful. It's why the 49ers were very successful the previous year, and they went to the Super Bowl because their front line. It's why Tampa was successful. One of the reasons why Tampa was successful against the Chiefs, and that's who the Bills have to get over if they're going to want to make the Super Bowl. It would be good. It would help the Bills' defensive line, definitely. It's something I believe the Bills are kind of known for. They're kind of known for getting those players when they're up there in age, kind of near the end of their prime. Look at another example would be like Terrell Owens. Even when they got Drew Bledsoe back in the day after he left and Tom Brady basically officially took over. He played for the Bills for a little while, Drew Bledsoe. He was kind of nearing the end of his career. That's kind of like a Buffalo thing, I feel like. So I definitely could see it. Other teams that were in the mix were Cleveland for J.J. Watt, Also, at one point, Pittsburgh was, because his two brothers play for Pittsburgh. I believe, TJ Watt plays for Pittsburgh. I can't remember his other brother's name, to be honest. But he has two brothers that play for Pittsburgh. But they're no longer talked about. I think they're off the block. The Packers are also another team because his hometown is Wisconsin. So that's where Green Bay is. I've also heard Tennessee could be a possible destination for J.J. Watt. I like the pickup for the Bills. I do. But I'm going to dial it down because I don't think it's going to happen. I think that J.J. Watt is going to go back to his hometown, to Green Bay. I think he wants to win a Super Bowl. And I think he might have a little bit better chance with Green Bay than he would with the Bills. So I have a feeling he's going to go to Green Bay, to be honest. I also think Green Bay might be able to pay him a little bit more. Excuse me. But if he comes to Buffalo, I think that would be a good thing, definitely. It would help the defensive line. You do have, the risk with his injuries, with him being injury-prone, I should say, even though he was healthy all last year. But I'm going to dial it down for the Bills because I do think he's going to go to Green Bay. I thought he was going to go to Pittsburgh, but then I thought when I was planning to make this video, Pittsburgh was on the list of possible destinations, and I thought it would be possible that he would go if Pittsburgh could play with his brothers. But I also feel like J.J. Watt wants to try to win a championship. He knows his career is coming to an end, and so I see more likely that someone like the Bills or Green Bay would have a better chance. Maybe the Titans, but I feel like Buffalo or Green Bay have the best chance. I feel like it's going to be between those two teams, but I do think Green Bay, and mainly because I think he's going to go home. Now, who I think the Buffalo Bills will get, which I know my one friend hopes will not happen. My best friend does not think will happen. Shout out to Vinny, if he's watching. Is Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman is leaving the San Francisco 49ers. He is on the free agency market as well, or in the free agency market as well. And I do believe that Buffalo Bills will be getting Richard Sherman. I'm going to dial that up. So that's my dial it up. I don't think I think he's in the same class as J.J. Watt. He's up there in age, so he's not going to cost the Bills a lot of money. Still falls under the same kind of MO that the Bills have of getting those guys when they're near the end of their prime. And so I think they will. I think they will get Richard Sherman. I think what it will help is their corner, the Bills' corner right now, White, is a really good corner, and they seem to have been leery about letting him stay on the opposing team's number one receiver, because I think they don't have enough help in the secondary, and so they're moving him around. And I think the Buffalo really needs a second corner that can help out White, and they can allow White to just stay on an island with that number one receiver and take out that team's number one receiver and give the rest of their secondary help. To me, the Buffalo Bills are kind of where the New York Giants are. I'm a fan of the New York Giants as well. the boat that they're in. The New York Giants have a really good corner in Bradbury. The Buffalo Bills have a really good corner in White. But what they need is a secondary corner, because it's not enough just to have one good corner. And so I think the Bills do need that second corner, and I think that Richard Sherman could do that. And I think that you can get him at a discount. And I do believe that Richard Sherman will be playing for the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to dial that up. If they had the money, to be honest, I wouldn't mind seeing Buffalo go for both J.J. Watt and Richard Sherman. I feel like they're in a win-now situation. You made it to the AFC East Championship. Your quarterback has finally taken that step. And you can spend money because you have a rookie quarterback on a rookie contract, which is very minimum. So this is where a lot of teams take advantage of that. Look at the Rams with Jared Goff. Obviously, he's not on the Rams anymore. He's with Detroit. But when he was, they went to the Super Bowl. They spent all that money to improve their team because they weren't paying their star quarterback tons of money. It's a lot of times where teams get in trouble is when they have to pay their quarterback a lot of money, and then they have to pay other players lots of money, and then all of a sudden there's not as much money to go around. It's one reason why we should respect Tom Brady. When he was in New England, he constantly took pay cuts. He was the top quarterback in the NFL, winning Super Bowls, and he was the middle of the pack when it came to being paid. But he did that to help his team to be able to have spending money to have a good team around him. And honestly, what other quarterback has done that? Not many at all. In fact, I could be wrong. Put it in the comments section. Definitely would love to hear it, because I'm not saying I'm right. But I can't think of another quarterback that has. I've heard people who have told me, oh, Josh Allen said he will, and other quarterbacks say they will. That's great if they say they will. I'm talking about who's done it. And I think Brady is the only one I can think of that has done it. And I think more quarterbacks should do that. Dak Prescott is a perfect example. He should take lesser money so he can have the players around him that he needs, because he needs that. He needs the supporting cast, and he's foolish for, I believe, for asking for as much as he's asking. So I do believe Buffalo is in a win-now situation, and I am dialing it down with J.J. Watt. I do not believe it will happen, but it's not because I don't believe the Bills will try. I just think he's going to pick Green Bay. He's going to go home. He's still going to be picking a team he can contend with, but I'd love to see J.J. Watt and Richard Sherman in Buffalo, but I'm only predicting Richard Sherman. And so we'll see. We'll see what happens. We're going to keep going in later episodes with more Bills rumors or Bills news and what they may or may not do. I think the next one I may do may be on what the Bills may do for their offensive line and for their running game and things like that. I'm going to end the show real quick with, or the episode I should say maybe, with a little fun fact. I love to cook, and my family is my taste testers. And I have some picky kids who like to complain a lot. But I still enjoy it, even if they don't always. But so apparently with my family, I thought bacon made everything better. Apparently, bacon does not make everything better. Now, I thought this because, for example, my one daughter, we were at a friend's house and they were talking about deviled eggs, and she was like, oh, I don't like deviled eggs. No, not really. I don't like deviled eggs. Not a deviled eggs fan. And they said, why don't you, we do this deviled egg recipe where you put bacon on it. And she was like, ooh, that sounds interesting, or something like that. And I'm thinking, okay, yeah, bacon makes everything better, right? So does cheese. So I made meatloaf. I love trying new recipes, and I saw this recipe where you put bacon on top of the meatloaf, and that's supposed to help with the dryness and to make it juicier. I've seen Gordon Ramsay do that, and I've always wanted to do that, but I didn't think the family would like it. But who knows? Maybe they wouldn't know if I took it off before I served it. I got to be a ninja in the kitchen. But I've seen Gordon Ramsay put bacon on top of turkey, and again, because turkey is such a dry bird, that the bacon helps with the dryness. And so I did that with meatloaf, and of course the family was like, why is there bacon on the meatloaf? What are you doing? So that was a Dial It Down that's the family's edition of Dial It Down with Dave's recipe. I thought it was delicious, but the family dialed it down. Where the family dials it up is there's my thumb. Is they are okay with not with bacon on meat apparently, but bacon on chicken. Now that they dialed it up, bacon wrapped chicken. It's very easy to make. You basically brown sugar, I believe a fourth cup, and then different seasonings. I use paprika, garlic powder, I believe onion powder, parsley, some other stuff. And you kind of roll the chicken in that, and then you wrap it with bacon, and you put it in the oven. You sprinkle the seasoning, the leftover seasoning on top of the chicken. You bake that in the oven. It comes out really good, and then it has like some juices in it that you can drain, kind of, and that can kind of be like a gravy. It's really good, and the family dialed that up for sure. So those are two recipes that you could try, and let me know if your family dialed it up or dialed it down, depending on, I guess, how picky your eaters are in your family. All right, thanks for watching, and have a great week. And thank you for tuning in to Dialing It with Dave. I really appreciate it. Would love to hear any comments, questions, anything you guys have. And, yeah, that's it.